Hello, my name is Ed Brown, and I was asked the other day about this critical thinking model I developed, the IBAR critical thinking method. Why you? What's so important that we should listen to what you have to say? And that's a great question. I have the background, the education, the research, the publishing behind me, but that's not important. That's not compelling enough. And I recall my cousin, Tommy Monroe, telling me who I was as a teenager. And we were talking, because I hadn't seen him in years. He was in Atlanta, he lives in New York, drives a truck, and he was driving by Atlanta. And we were sitting at the table having his lunch at the time. And he said, you know, Ed, I'm paraphrasing now, he said, you were an interesting teenager. And he said, when guys got high, you would ask, well, what did they feel like, and why did they do it, and how's the after effect? I was asking questions, breaking it down in my mind, the whole experience that that person was having that I have never had, and to date will never have, seemingly. Not that I want to, never desired it, but just haven't had it, won't have it. And when I think about 17-year-old kid asking an older cousin those kind of questions, it brought me back to, that's always been my life. As an introverted, self-conscious, insecure kid, you just watch the world evolve around you. And you ask a lot of questions, and because you're not cool with the women, because you're not the guy who can fight, you're not the guy who can handle himself, even though you might be an athlete, you just watch people and you just become pretty naturally interested in people. And so you start reading books, how to pull women, how to engage people, how to be charismatic, how to be persuasive. And then when you see charismatic people around you in your community, you start looking at them and seeing exactly how they do what they do, and you watch them as you're watching a movie. So you carry that to childhood into your adulthood, and if you don't break the chain of interest, you carry it into the longevity of your life. And so the critical thinking model for me transformed the emotionality of insecurity and self-consciousness into a dynamic of intrigue about human nature and how to actually gain power and influence. So at the end of the day, critical thinking and decision making and problem solving as a concept is a way of controlling your world. And in controlling your world, you get happiness, you have the opportunity to make more money, and you finally can get that pretty girl you always wanted because you didn't know what to do or say in the past. So all those things that you have uncovered as your ideal life, you start living because you realize it was always there. All you had to do was unlock it through your intellect. When I see society today with all the emotion goes on, I understand that. I'm emotional too. But for some reason, by staying in this space all my life, I have been able to transform into pure intellectualism to the point where when I'm seeing something, I can break things down and see its core and come with a solution. I believe that the geeks, the intellects, the underdogs, and those individuals who feel funny because they're being outnumbered, those are individuals who actually balance the shenanigans, the 15 minutes of fame individuals, the people who don't really bring any value to the world, but yet you know who they are, they're famous, as opposed to these individuals who actually have some context, have some content, have some value. They mean something. They have something to say. So it takes a certain amount of courage for those individuals, the introverts and the people who feel out of sorts, to actually exist. But let me just say this for those individuals, because that's who I'm talking to, because the shenanigans individuals, they don't want to hear this. As a matter of fact, they're not even part of the equation because you got your crowd, you got your people, you got your leaders. The people who are on the side need more leadership. They need a campaign of individuals saying, enough is enough. Let's read. Let's intellectualize. Let's strategize. Just use the system to gain the things we want as opposed to get emotional about everything and have a knee-jerk reaction for everything that comes about. Let's be those individuals who actually have success because we've thought our way to success. And so at the end of the day, if we're going to have 12,000 more years of civilization, we're going to have 12,000 years left for intellect. And so those of us who have committed and are evangelists for success intellectually, let's keep doing what we're doing. Let's balance the imbalance that's currently existing, and let's make sure at the end of the day that we have the life that we want, the success that we want, and that we do all that we can to bring about the things that we want to see transform the world, because it won't be the other side, it will be our side, making a difference.